Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons & Dragons, from fatal feints to flashy finesse. And today we're talking about fighter subclasses, the Battlemaster and the Cavalier.
Oh yeah.
The Dungeoncast.
Hey Brian.
Hey Will, that was a mouthful of an intro.
I know, it really was, wasn't it?
We're getting back to character creation.
We are. Today is going to be a bit of a different kind of an episode. We have received many character building episode requests over the years, and we wanted to put together a series that is more geared towards players than DMs, and something that will allow us to flex our creative muscles, if you will.
Yeah, we love character building here.
We do. I'm sure a lot of people play D&D love to character create. It is very, very fun.
Your special guest, we're going to have your special guest Jake on eventually for some of these, because he just does that shit all the time.
It's fun. I mean, heck, I'm doing it over my birthday weekend with my girlfriend and my sister. We're just making characters.
That's cool.
For a campaign later, but I'm excited with character creation.
And now you have an essentials kit to kind of
help
you guys
I'm
run
using
through
it
that.
as part of my book stand over here.
Yeah. So when you're character building generally, when you're keeping you're our DM for Super Quest Saga,
Yes.
but so you're not character building on a sheet like you normally would be as a player, right?
I definitely build more just NPCs and monsters than I build character classes or anything like that.
Totally.
As a matter of fact, I rarely even look at the classes or races anymore because, well, number one, you guys are in a space adventure with like a whole different set of like parameters.
Homebrew?
Yeah, a lot of homebrew. And then again, I am the DM, so I'm not doing classes. So
Yeah, totally. Sometimes I do build, like, when it's a really important character, I will stat it out on a sheet because I want very specific things. Like,
I could see that being useful. I've done it before, but I find myself I do it less and less over the years.
Yeah, and it's rare that I will do it, but I'm really happy to be back to the sheet today for this episode.
Yes, so in this new series, we're going to be taking a closer look at the various subclasses of the game. We're going to revisit the features and talk about them a bit more in depth. And we're going to each build a character of said subclasses and show what we would run if we tried out that subclass.
Right.
So I want to say that this is not going to be an optimization guide series. This is a creative discussion of what can be done with the words as written when you introduce some creative spice.
That's right.
The rule of cool is definitely more important to our builds than what technically does the most damage or has the highest AC.
And to us as gamers.
And
just in general, we're more
it's just the way we play.
Yeah.
And hopefully the series can serve as inspiration for players looking for ideas to roll something new and fun in their upcoming campaign or one-shot. Yeah, anything you want to add to that before we dive into the Battlemaster?
No, I think that's it. If you want to optimize, there are lots of cool ways to do that.
And there's lots of videos and guides to do it, too.
Yeah, totally.
Here I just want to show that, like, not all Battlemasters are the same. Like, I'm going to build a Battlemaster, and it's going to be, like 80% similar, but, like, there's going to be some flavor changes, some little differences.
And I'm actually going to be building the Cavalier, and I've built a Battlemaster before, which is why I did that. So, like, my build is, like, I'm going way off the rails. I read the optimization guide. I'm going way off the rails.
Oh, gosh,
I'm just kind of throwing a few ideas around.
Right.
But it's, in the spirit of the game, I made what I think is a cool character.
Sure.
So let's get into it.
All right, so it's been a long time since we talked about the Battlemaster. I believe it was episode 4.
Or like fighters in general, specific,
yeah, there's that too. But the fighters did have a second episode, which was like a year or two ago or something.
Yeah, because you've had Xanathar's Guide and like
I'm talking November 2016. We talked about the Battlemaster. So let's talk about the Battlemaster again here in 2020.
Dating ourselves right now. We're aged so hard. I feel like cheese.
The Battlemaster is an archetype for the fighter class in D&D, any of which can be chosen when a player's character progresses to level 3. This is a subclass that flavors the fighter's combat abilities as tactical maneuvers of great skill and strategy. This kind of fighter uses their head as much as their strong arm. Where this experience and knowledge comes from is up to the player, but some examples can be under the tutelage of a martial master whose techniques are only known by a select few, in specialized academic training with elite combat education, in the pits of a gladiatorial arena where guile is repaid with living another day, or simply self-taught from years of mercenary campaigns, hodgepodging together tips and tricks picked up from allies and enemies alike.
Cool.
So it's up to you how you became such a master, but you are a master.
Yeah, I do like that. This reminds me very much of Last Airbender. Sokka does
Sokka,
book 3 spoilers. So Sokka gets like a master, a swordsman guy. Mm-hmm. He reminds me of the Battlemaster a lot because you have to use your strategy and tactile fighting. He sounds like Keanu Reeves, the guy who voices him. It's really good.
Yeah, bro.
Those are some great episodes.
I'll check it out.
It is things happen very fast in The Last Airbender.
Yes,
they do. It's very unrealistic in a couple of ways, but that's okay.
It's fiction.
They were really good. Really good. Like, if you're looking for that NPC to be your master, in your backstory pages, that's a great place to look for inspiration.
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
Forgot his name. It's a tear for that guy.
Oh, indeed. So, the fighter is a class commonly considered boring. In most editions, a fighter's turn in battle is often summed up in 2 words: I attack.
Yeah.
The Battlemaster is a subclass that gives fighters more to do on their turn, with battle maneuvers that act more mechanically like spells and have a resource called Superiority Die. These maneuvers can do things like reposition characters on the battlefield, give an ally the advantage, distract an enemy, and much more.
Okay.
So, Player's Handbook, page 73, states this: those who emulate the archetypical Battlemaster employ martial techniques passed down through the generations. To a Battlemaster, combat is an academic field, sometimes including subjects beyond battle, such as weaponsmithing or calligraphy. Not every fighter absorbs the lessons of history, theory, and artistry that are reflected in the Battlemaster archetype, but those who do are well-rounded fighters of great skill and knowledge.
Cool.
So, let's get into the specific features that are picked up by the Battlemaster that other fighters don't get.
Okay.
So first is combat superiority. When you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you learn maneuvers that are fueled by special dice called Superiority Die.
They're fueled by you being better than the other guy.
You get maneuvers. You learn 3 maneuvers of your choice, which are detailed under the maneuvers below. Many maneuvers enhance an attack in some way, and that's true. Most of the maneuvers are you attack plus you get to do this cool other thing.
Yeah, and you're rolling that extra die. Like you're basically looking at a list of abilities, because you pick a certain number of them.
You get 3 at first, and then you're going to get 2 additional maneuvers at level 7, 10, and 15.
So you can really kind of build your guy custom.
Definitely.
The kind of flavor that you need.
In the end, you end up with 9 maneuvers, and I think the list has 12 or 13, something like that. So in the first fighter episode, we didn't talk about every single maneuver. We kind of glossed over it. And this one, I want to this maneuver does this maneuver does this, and we'll go forth. I'm going to try not drag too slowly. But I'll
give you guys my opinion on it as we'll read. So.
Sure, yeah. The superiority dice and how they work. You have 4 superiority dice, which are D8s. Superiority die is expended when you use it. You regain all of your expended superiority dice when you finish a short or long rest. You gain another superiority dice at level 7 and more at 15th level. The saving throw for your maneuvers is your DC. Your DC is equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your strength or dexterity mod.
That's cool. Very fighter.
So very much very fighter, but also it is structured very much like a spell save.
Yes, it's exactly like a spell save.
Yeah. Also, when you choose this feature, you get the feature, or this subclass, you get the feature Student of War. You gain proficiency with 1 type of artisan's tools of your choice. Alchemist supplies, brewer supplies, calligrapher supplies, carpenter supplies, cartographer's tools, any type of creation or artwork thing. There's a whole bunch more. It's a long list.
You get this. Basically, you could be a traveling drunk.
Sure, you can or a traveling woodcarver or weaver or mechanic or tinker.
Yeah, I think Magnus from the Adventure Zone was a woodcarver because of this feat. Because I think he was a Battlemaster.
He was a Battlemaster.
They were breaking the rules a little bit, using D6s and stuff.
Yes, of course. So at level 7, you get Know Your Enemy. If you spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature outside combat, you can learn certain information about its capabilities compared to your own. The DM tells you if the creature is your equal, superior, or inferior in regard to 2 of the following characteristics of your choice: strength score, dexterity score, constitution score, armor class, current hit points, total class levels, fighter class levels.
You get the fucking data readout on this guy. You get to know how many hits it'll take.
It's because you are so experienced and you know what to look for so well that you could sum up a person just by looking at them.
Yeah, real fighters, they say, or even just in anime and stuff, they could look at a guy or throw 1 punch and know the strength of their opponent.
Right, exactly,
deep down. I know they're holding back, but I know the well goes this deep.
It's very cliche.
So here's a reflavor option for you that I just thought of is instead of like conning this guy out, like super specific, because what was it called again? What was the feature called?
The feature is
Know
called
Your Enemy?
Know Your Enemy, yeah.
It could literally be like, I know that guy. Every time.
So
like, I know that guy, and I know how strong he is. Like, for some reason, you know every bad guy.
I really like that idea. That's really funny.
Like, know your enemy.
Yeah.
Like, take that, know your enemy, literally.
Do you just know every fighter in the world? I mean, maybe kind of.
I don't know, man. Like, every time we run across... I can't think of them now, but when we run across them, it seems that way.
It seems that way. Okay,
He's
so...
got 90 HP.
At level 10, your combat superiority die improve from D8s to D10s. And at 18th level, they turn into D12s.
Okay.
At 15th level, you get a feature called Relentless. When you roll initiative and have no superiority dice remaining, you regain 1 superiority die, so you always have at least 1.
That's cool. Always good.
And finally is the long list of maneuvers. Let me just count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16.
You get total 9, but you have 16 to choose from. And so let's just go over these because we've never really done that before. So the first maneuver is Commander Strike. When you take an attack action on your turn, you can forego one of your attacks and use a bonus action to direct one of your companions to strike. When you do so, choose a friendly creature who can see or hear you and expend 1 superiority die. That creature can immediately use its reaction to make 1 weapon attack, adding the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. Cool. So this is you foregoing your attack and like making an opening for someone who deals better damage.
Sweet.
I think the best case scenario in this would be a rogue who hasn't gotten their sneak attack off yet.
Ooh, that's cool. Like you're getting up in there and creating the opening for the sneak attack.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that a lot.
Exactly. I would like this. I like this feature, or I like this maneuver a lot, and it super reminds me of 4th edition Warlord. I think I would tweak it just slightly, where it wouldn't make the attacking player have to use the reaction, because I think that's where the idea of this maneuver kind of gains its strength. It's like it's an extra attack from a source that normally wouldn't be able to.
Right.
And if that character is forced to use their reaction, well, now they don't have an opportunity attack, and it's like you're already giving up a thing by giving up your superiority die. Mm-hmm. Why do you have to give that up and then make someone else give something else up? That's just my 2 cents. But either way, I still really like it because it's fun.
Cool.
Next one is Disarming Attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend a superiority die to attempt to disarm the target, forcing it to drop 1 item of your choice that it's holding. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and the target must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, it drops the object you choose, and the object lands at his feet. So this is great in 2 ways. If the enemy's holding something you're trying to get, you can make him drop it. Or if the enemy is holding a weapon, you can make them drop it, and suddenly they're less dangerous, especially if you can take advantage quickly.
If you want to intimidate like a monocle-wearing politician and slap the monocle off of his face.
I would accept that. He's not technically holding the item, but I super love it.
He's holding it with his
I suppose
muscles.
so. Fuck yeah, he is. His eye knuckles. I love it.
You just slap it off his face and deal a D8 of damage.
There we go. To his soul.
To his fucking jaw.
Or that too, yeah. Evasive Footwork is the next one. When you move, you can expend 1 superiority die, rolling the die, and adding the number you roll to your AC until you stop moving them. This is a great way for you to get from one place to the other without even thinking about opportunity attacks.
Right. It's the best way, and I learned this playing in Will's game, to get to the wizard in the back immediately.
Oh, God, yeah. I remember you guys did that in like the second session. That
My
was great.
first character was a Battlemaster. I had that feat, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to go to this guy.
Yeah, you did. And it worked. It was great.
Yeah, man. You fucking like...
I mean, the barbarian died, but everything was good.
You do like some Michael Jackson footwork. Sorry, the barbarian did die. That wasn't my bad.
No,
well, maybe.
Well, you weren't there to help him.
I wasn't. I wasn't
very
back
far
there.
away.
I went. Okay, yeah. So I basically do.
You abandoned your friends.
Some stylish high decks, like Michael Jackson smooth footwork moves all the way to the back wizard. While my dude got eaten by Glicks.
Yeah, it's true.
All right,
Grix and dragged into the deep.
Yeah.
Anyways, Fainting Attack. You can expend 1 superiority die and use a bonus action on your turn to feint, choosing 1 creature within 5 feet of you as your target. You have an advantage on your next attack roll against this creature this turn. If that attack hits, add a superiority die to the attack's damage roll. Now, this is really cool if you really need to get that last hit now because it's a do or die situation. It's only a bonus. It's only a bonus action that just gives you advantage for a turn.
I mean, when you're a fighter, you're really only bonus your bonus action economy is like either your second attack if you're not using. Well, it's either
If
your
you're-
second
if you're
attack
dual wielding,
if
yeah.
you're dual wielding, or it's your second wind, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And that's it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't see another bonus action thing like baked in other than this. So
And
that's,
also,
that's
let me.
good.
You have advantage on your next attack. Okay, so it is specific about your next attack roll because if it was you have advantage until your next turn, it's like, well, guess where my accent surge is going? But never mind.
Yeah. So this is cool because if you know this dude's HP that you're fighting,
Yeah.
you're like, okay,
Just
well,
by looking at him.
yeah, we've got him. We've got him phased down. Like I can kill him next turn, and I can help like guarantee that.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah. The next one is Goading Attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to goad the target into attacking you. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets other than you till the end of your next turn. This is a great way to be like, you know what, I need tank, so this is an active way for me to tank better.
Time to pull aggro. Let's
Yeah,
go.
exactly. And it's a much more organic way of like pulling aggro than 4th edition did, where it really worked very much like a video game. I still like that, but this is cool.
I know I feel a certain way about abilities like this where you could like feasibly try to use a skill to do this with like persuasion or deception of some kind to like draw the enemy to you. It feels like I shouldn't be trying to do this stuff if this feat exists. You know what I mean? Like, I should be using the feat. Like, or can I even do that other thing because the feat exists?
So I think that number one, you can always try and do that. I always encourage like the role play version of doing stuff, especially in the absence of stuff like this. I think a lot of people never think to do those things or never want to try and do those things because it feels like you're wasting a turn. And I can kind of see where that comes from. What's cool about this is it is built into you doing the thing you're already doing anyways, because it's when you hit a creature with a weapon attack. So you're not wasting a turn doing a skill check. You're actually attacking them. And then because you are so good at goading, you can also goad as you swing your sword. And you add the superiority die that you expended to the attack roll's damage, meaning that you not only are you doing what you normally doing, but you're doing it better because the superiority die added damage.
Right.
And it's all built in.
This is like a mechanic. It's like a spell.
I think this is actually pretty well designed. I don't think it, what's the word, makes the other thing you're talking about obsolete.
Yeah. The skill thing is like there's a likelihood of failure.
Anyone can goad, but this person goads as the attack real good and has a
this is like you cut
more
off
difficult saving throw versus like a contest between like persuasion.
I think this is cool. You can flavor it like I cut off your ear and now you like really want to fuck with me because I just did something dirty to you.
Exactly.
Or like cut off a finger or like I don't know, to cut your belt off. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Something
Good
like that. Very
shit.
Princess Bride.
Oh, I love it.
So next one, Lunging Attack. When you make a melee weapon attack on your turn, you can expend 1 superiority die to increase your reach for that attack by 5 feet. If you hit, you add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. Again, maybe you couldn't quite get to that when you're in heavy armor. This shit happens to you all the time. You'll always end up 5 feet away from the thing that you're trying to hit, and it's fucking infuriating.
That 25 feet,
guess
man.
what? You can lunge attack if it comes down to it.
Totally,
that's pretty cool.
But in your role play, you have to make sure that you're actually doing lunges. I know,
Yeah, of
know
course.
lunges are hard, but like
lunges are hard. I did lunges last night in the gym.
hell yeah, I will.
But
hell yeah,
next one, Maneuvering Attack.
that Fraser blue.
Yeah, exactly. I was so inspired our last recording. Maneuvering Attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to maneuver one of your comrades into a more advantageous position. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and you choose a friendly creature who can see or hear you. The creature can use its reaction to move up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks from the target of your attack.
Man, that's really cool.
Yeah,
You can get a wizard out of the fray.
Exactly. You can extract people from a bad situation.
Or you can put the paladin where he needs to be.
Or that, yeah. And I think this is where when you're playing on a grid versus theater, we tend to do theater of the mind, which I love.
Well, in our theater of the mind exists the grid with the footage also, right?
To a certain degree, yeah.
To
It's way more vague, and obviously Maneuvering Attack would still be very effective, but the whole grid battle, like, I feel like the Battlemaster really shines here because, like, every square really does count and matter.
It does.
And stuff like this can be the difference between life and death.
Yeah, you're turning it into a chessboard.
Exactly.
So if you're, in theater of the mind, it's like, well, he's surrounded, so it's obvious that I need to get him out. And you basically turn him into spaghetti.
Right. Sure. Exactly.
Fucking out of there.
So, Menacing Attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to frighten the target. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it's frightened of you until the end of your next turn. So pretty.
I like that one.
Scare the enemy.
I had that one when I played. That was cool. Induce fear.
Right, and I think
strike so crazy.
Right, and I think there's a difference between making an intimidation check and intimidating someone, and then the actual condition of being frightened.
Yes,
and that's
there
what this
is.
does.
You can intimidate somebody, and they can be intimidated, but it's not going to necessarily make them run away.
Exactly.
What's a good thing that exists in the world to compare this to? I always think of Link's spin attack, as like a very frightening, like it has like a pushback, and like especially in like Breath of the Wild, you can hit like multiple enemies.
Yeah.
And, like some dude spinning in a fucking 360 with his sword out is scary in a way.
Very, very
or like
much so.
yelling.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I don't
his
know.
menacing attack.
The two-handed, I don't know. What's a cool? Can you think of anybody that does like an
menacing
attack so good that it scares the shit out of somebody?
Not off the top of my head, I'm sure I do, but I can't bring it up to mind now.
We'll think about it later.
Yeah, sure. The next one is parry. When another creature damages you with a melee attack, you can use a reaction to expend 1 superiority die to reduce the damage by the number you roll on your superiority die plus your dexterity modifier. Now this one's specific about the dex mod. So this is about being quick. So for a light weapon dexterity fighter, you're going to want parry. It's going to mitigate damage. And as the fighter, you're on the front lines. Any damage you can mitigate, any damage you don't have to make your healer heal, the better.
Yeah. I think we usually are like, if you want to switch these maneuvers out, because I feel like parry is really good early game, and it weakens over time as hits get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's true. And you can switch out maneuvers as you keep going.
Yeah, as you level, you can kind of like change stuff out. I highly recommend that one at the early levels, because negating 7 points of damage or whatever is fucking
almost nothing,
pro.
Yeah.
Well, later on it's bad, but early on it's good.
And I think that is a common criticism about the Battlemaster, about like the maneuvers don't
they don't scale appropriately.
They don't scale all that well.
Yeah.
But you know what? If that's true, I've never taken a Battlemaster up into the higher levels. But if it's true, the DM has the power to help you scale that up. And I think if it truly is scaling that poorly, if it's like, this isn't cool, it should scale better, make it scale better.
Yeah, just add another die, like when it seems right.
Right, exactly. Next is Precision Attack. When you make a weapon attack roll against a creature, you can expend 1 superiority die to add it to the roll. You can use this maneuver before or after making the attack roll, but before any effects of the attack are applied. This is good if you really don't want to use that bonus action on, what was that other attack called? It was Fainting Attack.
That's right.
Because that one costs a bonus action but gives you advantage. And I think I feel like advantage is usually better than just like a flat bonus.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But Precision Attack doesn't make you need to use up a bonus action. So if you really need that bonus action, Precision Attack's a bit better than Fainting Attack.
I like it. Fucking Byakugan.
I do like that about the Battlemaster. And you see this with the Paladin too, or at least my experience with the Paladin is these two classes really make you think about action economy and how to use each of your different little actions the best, most optimal way.
It's the most important thing, because if you're not using those abilities, if you're wasting that pool of resources and doing non-optimal stuff or suboptimal stuff, it can be the difference between life and death. Yeah, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
So next one, we're almost done here. We got 5 left. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Pushing Attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend a superiority die to attempt to drive the target back. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and if the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you can push the target up to 15 feet away from you, which is pretty far. That's off the cliff. That's into the lava. That's over the bridge. That's into the water. Yeah, it's from one place to a place the thing doesn't want to be a lot of the time. So I feel like Pushing Attack is a really good one.
A fucking drop kick.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
and you know what? Like, high-level monsters tend to be really strong, but even high-level wizards aren't that strong, and a strength saving throw might really fuck them up.
Yeah, the right guy getting pushed is.
Yeah.
Even if maybe your save is super high too. See, that's something that scales as you levels.
Right.
That save is going to go up.
Yeah.
You get it up to like 17, 18, right?
Yeah, I think, because 8 plus your proficiency bonus, well, let's just say like plus 4. So we're already at a 12, and let's say you have max out 20, so that's 17, yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Next one is Rally. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to expend 1 superiority die to bolster the resolve of one of your companions. When you do so, choose a friendly creature who can see or hear you. That creature gains temporary hit points equal to the superiority die roll plus your charisma modifier. This is another really cool one, minus the charisma mod part, even though that flavor is nice. So this reminds me of the Warlord, where you can kind of like heal people just by being a super dope general, which makes no sense, but it's so mechanically cool. I love it.
It's almost like morale based.
It's like a morale based, right? And like that's the thing about HP is like it doesn't just encompass physical damage; it encompasses psychic damage, morale damage, all that other stuff.
I'm a huge proponent of morale in the real world, so in my fantasy world, it's going to be meaningful. Also.
Definitely. Now, again, it being tied to charisma modifier sucks because most fighters are going to have real low charisma, or at most like a +1. You know?
See, I don't like to build my fighters with low charisma.
Right.
I think my fighter should be a diplomat most of the time.
Sure, but like if you are pumping charisma as a fighter, if you got a 16 of charisma, you are suffering in very important combat stats.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
Yeah, I like charisma to be like kind of.
Yeah.
That's
like,
not where I'm ever going to dump.
Yeah,
much.
but let's say you didn't dump charisma and you have a 12, which is high for a fighter because you don't usually need it. In this case, it's only a +1 to this die roll, and that does kind of suck.
I mean, like, when I say this, I mean for the Battlemaster fighter, not for every fighter, because you're gonna want like chumpy, like nasty dudes,
right?
But
so
for the educated, I'm superior. Like they're called superiority dice. Like you're gonna want to be able to talk to people and be educated.
So in 4th edition. 4th edition did a really good job of like designating primary, secondary, and tertiary stats for every single type of class and subclass out there. The Warlord, which was what the Battlemaster kind of reminds me of, you had a charisma-based Warlord, an intelligence-based Warlord, a wisdom-based Warlord, depending on how you were a leader. And like your like healing or tactical repositioning or stuff was always based off your secondary stat.
Okay.
I feel like they should have done something kind of like that for the Battlemaster where like charisma or intelligence played a part and thus pumping that a little bit more than normal, you were rewarded for it.
Yeah.
But like this one single maneuver isn't enough for that. And so
I feel like you can kind of like sub out strength. If you want, like, I thought it was better to go Dex for my Battlemaster, so then it kind of opened up strength a little bit for me to like move important stats elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's common. I think a lot of people like to build light armor Battlemasters.
Yeah.
But moving on, we have Repose. When a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to expend 1 superiority die to make a melee weapon attack against the creature. If you hit, you add your superiority die to the attack's damage roll. So this is just a counterattack.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Which is cool.
That's a good one. Like, doing damage on not your turn
is always
cool.
fun. Yes, absolutely. We have 2 more. Sweeping attack. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to damage another creature with the same attack. Here's your link spin.
Fucking sweep the leg.
Choose another creature within 5 feet of the original target and within your reach. If the original attack roll would hit the second creature, it takes damage equal to the number on your you roll on your superiority die. The damage is of the same type dealt with the original attack. So it's like almost like splash damage, which is cool. But if you're spending superiority die, I'm not sure if I want to use it on sweeping attack.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be cool if, like in 4th, I keep going back to 4th edition. It'd be cool if, like in 4th edition, minions existed, because splash damage will kill a minion.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's fun.
Okay.
But minions don't exist in 5e unless you're in my game, which they do. Which I rarely use these days, but
I'm not really sure what exactly it is you mean when you say minion.
A minion was a type of creature where it had only 1 HP.
Oh.
And so you were able to throw like a horde of them, and they would do proportional damage to whatever level.
Sure.
Level 15 or 1. But they would always have only 1 HP, so they were always just one-hit kills.
They're just exploders.
They're just minions. Minions that you see in superhero movies and
that's
cartoons.
funny because I use I didn't really know about that like mechanically speaking, but for Flashbang and the Surgeon, the role play is there. Like, you're a superhero, it shouldn't take you more than like at higher levels, it shouldn't take you more than like 1 or 2 hits to kill a guy or to down a guy. So our theater combats are like, if you land the attack, he's down. Because that's how like mob attacks work in like the Daredevil fight scene where they go down the hallway. It's like 2 hits and the guy's out, but there's 30 guys.
Yeah, I think Minions is one of the quite a few things from 4th edition that I think you can just pull right over into 5e and it just makes it better.
Yeah, I think that's super fucking cool. Like I get the 1 HP mechanical, like I guess technically all of my guys that they didn't have AC though. The ones I use, they don't.
Oh yeah, these ones will have AC, so you have to hit them.
You do have to hit them. Okay,
but yeah. So final maneuver, trip attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to knock the target down. You can add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and if the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you knock the target prone.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah?
Knocking people prone can be cool. It depends. Like, it's just another one of those things like the pushing attack. It's very, very situational.
So yeah, it is situational, but one cool thing about knocking someone prone is as long as they're prone, everyone who attacks them has advantage.
Exactly.
And that's pretty spicy.
So against like a big, like when I say it's situational, if you're mobbing down one guy and you knock him over, he's going to get mobbed so hard. This could be the killing blow.
It could be. It could be the thing that initiates the killing blow.
Yeah, so like basically I'm going to save up like 2 or 3 of these for the end game, for the final move, so I can knock this guy over and we can mob this dude.
Indeed.
So me and my paladin or barbarian buddy can just like fucking go hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kill his mother trucker.
Exactly. So that's all the maneuvers. Anything else you want to talk about, ask about, comment about when it comes to the Battlemaster before we dive into my character here?
No, I think we addressed some good things like scaling and like being able to swap out these maneuvers for the late game stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went ahead and built a character. I think we both agreed we're going to build level 10 characters today. I built the Battlemaster. And I wanted to do my best because the Battlemaster reminds me so much of the Warlord. It's like, how can I make this as much like the 4e Warlord as I can? And I ended up building a character based off of a Warlord I used to play back in 4th edition, whose name was Hyperion. He was human. This one's a Dragonborn, but I've built today a Dragonborn Battlemaster named Hyperion the Halcyon.
Nice.
So, I didn't really get super into the backstory, but my idea behind Hyperion is he's kind of like a disgraced former officer of like a Dragonborn military.
Okay.
His squad got wiped out by some enemy I didn't define, but whoever it is, he has a vendetta against this enemy, and because of the way things went down, the blame of his squadron's like slaughtering was pinned on his failure as a leader, so he was cast out, and now he's just a wandering mercenary, but he has all this like officer level military expertise. So he's a strategist, he's a tactician, and he's more than meets the eye when you think of a mercenary. So most people don't expect the stuff that he's bringing to the fight.
High level mercenary.
Most people are expecting like a ruffian, a thug, or like a basic fighter, but he's bringing all these strategies and tactics.
That's awesome.
So that's my idea behind Halcyon. I think I did the standard array, but his stats are thus: he has a 19 strength, 8 dexterity, 16 constitution, 12 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 14 charisma. So I did get that charisma up.
Yeah.
Partially because he's a Dragonborn, so I think he has a +1 or 2 to it.
Gets a little bit extra.
Yeah. He has a +8 to his strength save, +7 to his constitution save. Everything else is pretty abysmal. His initiative sucks. He only has a 8 dexterity, so it's a -1 initiative.
Dumps that dex.
But he's got some heavy armor with a 16 armor class.
Okay.
114 HP. I made him a gold Dragonborn. And that's where the name, the Halcyon, comes in. So, like, Halcyon came up as, like, a synonym to the word auric or golden, but Halcyon also generally is used to mean, like, the peaceful or, what's the word? Not zen, but, like, even enlightened. And the thing is, Hyperion...
Benevolent?
Almost, like, benevolent.
Okay.
But... I picture Hyperion as kind of being like of a dual nature.
Sure.
Of like when he isn't fighting, he does have this certain like peacefulness to him.
Some feng shui.
He's very approachable. He's very eloquent in the way he speaks. But when he turns on the Battlemaster, he is anything but Halcyon. He's a polar opposite. So I like the idea of like they call him Hyperion the Halcyon because he's anything but Halcyon.
Oh,
like, does that make
okay.
sense? Like it's like calling the big guy tiny.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Hyperion.
I get it.
But he breathes fire because he's a gold Dragonborn, and so I like the idea of a cone AoE effect, just adding more to the utility of what the Warlord can do. Because I wanted him to be able to attack and attack strong, but also to be able to do many things in battle, because that's what the Battlemaster shines at. So AoE is just another thing to tack onto his utility.
Cool. Does he have like war scars?
He's all scarred up. I picture him as kind of like an older guy. I think in Dragonborn they live to be about 80, so I picture him in his like mid 40s, late 40s, somewhere in there.
Tired, a little
bit tired. Yeah, he's tired. We're gonna get into his flaws and his other stuff, but just to talk about his highlights, like he's trained in animal handling, athletics, history, and intimidation. So +4, +8, +5, +6 respectively. My original Hyperion fought with a triple-headed flail, which was a weapon you could get in 4E. They don't have that in 5E, but I just took a flail and just reflate. It's triple-headed, bro.
Nice.
It looks cool.
That's pretty rad.
Let's move on to the second page here. I chose the dueling fighting style, so it just adds a little bit more to his damage. He gets the second win. He gets the action surge. His combat superiority dice at this level, he has 5 D10s working with, so those aren't too bad.
Cool.
I chose Commander Strike because, again, he's a military commander. He's going to be able to see an opening and tell someone to take advantage and move his troops to where they need to be.
Nice.
Disarming Attack, he's going to have that ability to take away an enemy's offensive power.
What's the punishment for that? Like, I know, like, when their turn rolls back around and you've dropped their weapon, do they spend an action picking their weapon back up? Or like...
I think it might be a bonus action. By the way, they do have to spend some resource picking it back up. I'd have to look up the rule.
Okay.
I don't know it off the top of my head. But the important thing is, like, opportunity attacks. They ain't going to be able to get them.
Yeah.
And, people can now feel the ability to move in and move out more freely.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Maneuvering Attack. This is the one where you can expend a superiority die to move a creature up to half their speed. So again, moving the troops around, getting them where they need to be, seeing openings, seeing escape routes, whatever it is. Like, he's a commander. He's a military guy. He's always looking at terrain. He's always looking at the battle
the grid.
escape, if you will.
Yeah.
The grid. Yeah. Pushing Attack. Again, now we're moving the enemy to where we want them. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Rally. Able to inspire the troops and get that morale up to give the healer more time to get in there where the healer needs to be. Repose, which is making the enemy pay for missing you. You attack them, counterattack. Seem pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most popular one.
Yeah, and then Trip Attack, which we just kind of talked about the Trip Attack, about tripping them and like going for the kill boys.
I love the Trip Attack. Yeah, it's the end game for sure.
Exactly.
If you like having a trouble with one particular guy in the way, let's just get this guy out of the way quick. Mm-hmm. If somebody's prone, can you go through their space? Can you go over them?
I think you can. No, they could probably make an opportunity attack, but I think you can move through them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Athletics check, jump over this guy.
Other than that, he's got resistance to fire. I don't know if I said that. His Dragon Breath at this level is still only doing 2d6 fire damage, but it's in an AoE. It's a 15-foot cone. One more level, and it's up to a 3d6. So it's just, again, also an intimidation factor.
Yeah, it's a cool opener.
Got this giant golden Dragonborn dude in heavy armor just breathing fire. That's terrifying.
Yeah, he just like hit 3 guys with fire breath attack.
And he's just in here yelling commands, and like he just seems so experienced and knowledgeable. You're really intimidated. Like, can we win this fight? Probably not. He's this Hyperion on the Halcyon. I made him lawful neutral, and this is what I wrote about him when it comes to his ideals, bonds, and flaws. So his ideal is, I will remember the fallen and protect those who still stand. His bonds are, I would still lay down my life for the people I served with. I'll never forget the crushing defeat my company suffered or the enemies who dealt it. I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. His flaws are that he often bears responsibility for things outside his control. He's overly critical of disorderly or carefree individuals and has a severe weakness for sweets.
Cool.
So any questions about Hyperion on the Halcyon?
No.
So...
I like him.
Cool.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, so, like, I think the Battlemaster's fun, and I think he's a great way if you really want to bring the Warlord to life.
I just feel like...
And I feel like there's a lot of carryover between my old Warlord and this character.
That's cool. Yeah. So if you're looking to rebuild the 4E Warlord, there's a version of it right there. Yeah,
there we go.
I like him. I'm seeing him in a bar, just waiting for that next docket to roll up.
Sure, absolutely.
scoping out his bingo book or whatever.
And I think a great adventure hook is like he sees someone bearing the emblem of the motherfuckers that took out his squadron. You know what I mean? And then bam, he's in the story.
Character flaw.
So, that being said, let's take a short rest.
Okay. Organizing stories can be hard, but it doesn't have to be. Campfire Pro is a writing software with tons of tools to keep you organized. Its character pages will help you keep track of all your characters with details and backstories, timelines to help you hammer out plot points and even track character arcs, and use the map page to create all the locations you need. Definitely check out their brand new world building pack. It's an expansion to Campfire Pro that's going to help you construct new species, items, magic systems, and develop your cultures with the religions, philosophies, and languages. Do away with all those Word docs and spreadsheets and keep everything easy and accessible with Campfire Pro. There's a link in the description below. Be sure to go check it out. Hey everybody, welcome to the party episode. We're not talking about that last thing. We're not. We're talking about this new thing, and it's the people that your time has come. I'm going to shout you out now.
Today's the
day. Are you ready, Patreon
Let's
people that came into Patreon in the last 3 weeks or so? Get ready. It's time. Your time is now. Micah.
Thank you, Micah. Haven't we thanked Micah before?
I usually try to overlap one.
Okay, well, thank you, Micah, again.
Thanks, Micah. I think we've done.
I don't mind thanking you twice. I just want to make sure Brian knew what he was doing.
This could be the third one because
Hey, Micah.
I'm shouting
Micah
you out
again.
if you up your pledge, you get another shout out just cause.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
So thanks for upping, Micah.
Indeed.
Again, probably this is the third time we shouted you out, I think. So let's go to the next one. Jeremy Papaleo.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Michael Melendez.
Thank you, Michael.
Gregory.
Thank you, Gregory.
I'm pretty sure that's like a Mabim Bam or Adventure Zone reference.
It could be.
My name's Gregory.
Yeah.
That's some Griffin
But
shit.
I think Gregory's also a real name.
Is it?
I
That's
think so.
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was Craig and Gregory.
You know what? We just lost Gregory.
No, come
back.
Stay, Gregory. We love your name. I do love a name. Thank you, Carlos Ray Frosto.
Thank you, Carlos.
Frausto. Lou Yardley.
Thank you, Lou.
Oz.
Thank you,
Lane.
Oz. Thank you, Oz.
And then we're going to go up here a little bit. Christopher Scott Ferris.
Thank you, Christopher.
Seneca Haynes.
Thank you, Seneca.
The Role Player.
Thank you, Role Player. The Role Player.
Yeah, it's The Role Player. Get it right, Will.
Excuse me.
Thanks for upping your pledge, Gerard Dwayne.
Thank you, Gerard.
Okay, hang on a second. IR, there's spaces between these. I space, R space, and then no space between these. TP. IR, TP.
Thank you, RTP.
And then the villain Joel, all one word.
Thank you, the villain Joel.
Let me go up a little bit more. We got, let's see. Oh, we're in June now. Andrew Szembruk.
Thank you, Andrew.
Joel Lima.
Thank you, Joel.
Nick Farrell.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah. So
is that everyone?
Thank you, everyone. Got it.
So,
we're living that pandemic life, and
still
there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world besides that.
This is true.
So thanks for thinking of us, guys.
Indeed.
We really appreciate it. Go check out your bonus content. Ranger Danger 2 is going to be up very, very soon. I dropped the theme song. That means it's coming. We only recorded half of it, so there's going to be another whole, it's like in a whole episode's worth of content still, even though. So we'll get that up someday.
Yeah, Super Quest should be back. Actually, by the
Super
time
Quest
this is back.
Already came back.
Yeah,
so
it done came back.
Did you guys check out Super Quest Saga?
Because it's back.
It's back. And I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was fun to be back.
Great to be back. We're right back to it. It didn't even felt like we left, except for me, because spoilers, I'm a new guy. I'm a new guy in that one.
This is true.
So, yeah. Let's get back to the show.
Back to the show.
We've returned.
We have.
We're back.
And we're talking about a new subclass.
My new guy.
The Cavalier.
So this is out of Zanny's guide to all the stuff.
Yeah. Yes. And we actually built a Cavalier on the show. Norman Armstrong was a Cavalier.
That's right.
Indeed.
I love Norman.
Yeah,
a lot of people love Norman.
I love Norman too. I hope to play him one day. But I'm very curious to see how very much different your Cavalier will be from Norman Armstrong.
Norman is the character. I'd probably play something closer to Norman than what I built today. And I know we kind of led the episode like, this is what we would play if this is what I would build to like as a bad guy.
Oh, okay, for sure.
I built
that's
like
cool too. Yeah, I may have said that, but it was more along the lines of like, this is like this is us being creative with the subclass. Like
Yeah.
There's a lot of subclasses that I'll never play. But I think what's cool about the series is it will give me a chance to be like, whoa, but what if I did? And
Yes.
and that's kind of how I've been approaching it.
Yeah, very cool.
So, the Cavalier, as a concept, is not new to 5e. Historically, there have been knight-type classes meant to specialize in mounted combat. Most of the time, it's a kind of fighter, but 4e actually had a paladin version of the Cavalier. Now, this subclass has a cult following, if you will. It has always been a bit of a over-specialized class that suffered from losing too many bonuses when forced off of their horse, in much the same way the pre-4E Rangers suffered similarly for being outside of their favorite terrain or favorite enemies. So this has always been kind of a class that never was quite right.
I feel like they kind of curbed that in this, because I read a lot of stuff about like how you don't really need a mount
You
at all.
super don't.
Yeah.
Now, 5e's Cavalier is interesting because it moves away from the whole mounted combat thing and doubles down on the cultured Knight of Protection deal.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Right. I personally love the subclass, but then again, it feels very akin to the 4E Fighter Defender role, which I adored back in my 4E days.
Yes.
I really did. I fucking love the Fighter from 4E. Whether this is a good version of the Cavalier or not is another discussion. Page 30 of Xanathar's Guide to Everything describes the Cavalier thusly. The archetypical... It's archetypal? Archetypal. Archetypal's the word. I think that's how you say it. The archetypal Cavalier excels at mounted combat. Usually born among the nobility and raised at court, a Cavalier is equally at home leading a cavalry charge or exchanging repartee at a state dinner. Cavaliers also learn how to guard those in their charge from harm, often serving as the protectors of their superiors and of the weak. Compelled to right wrongs or earn prestige, many of these fighters leave the lives of comfort to embark on glorious adventure. So they're very much a knight of the realm.
Yes.
So anything you want to say about the Cavalier before we get into the features?
I didn't do any of that stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I took those roots,
Right,
and then I
sure.
rubbed a bunch of dirt on them.
Oh,
Which is like
boy.
a horrible analogy because roots are in the dirt already.
They super
But
are,
you know what
yeah.
I mean.
I get what you mean. So, the first thing you get at level 3 when you choose this archetype is a bonus proficiency. You gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice. Animal handling, history, insight, performance, or persuasion. Alternatively, though, you can also learn an extra language of your choice.
Yeah, so if you want to be a diplomat,
you are
can
an educated man.
Exactly, but if you want to get on that horse, now's your chance.
Now's your chance.
Animal handle it up.
So also at level 3, you get born to the saddle. Your mastery as a rider becomes apparent. You have advantage on saving throws made to avoid falling off your mount. If you fall off your mount and descend no more than 10 feet, you can land on your feet if you're not incapacitated. Finally, mounting or dismounting a creature costs you only 5 feet of movement rather than half your speed. While both Cavaliers and Samurai existed in the real world, our inspirations for both fighter archetypes are taken from popular culture, not from history. This is words from the book of D&D. Our intent is to capture the cinematic, heroic element of both archetypes in the game, rather than create an accurate historical representation of either one.
Okay.
So, you are good at mounted combat, but it's not like the end-all be-all.
Right, you don't have to be on your horse to do stuff.
To be good. You're just good at being on your horse.
You get some benefits, though, to being on a mount. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, especially with this, like, your features kind of, like, your mount is a target. It can be targeted. So,
yeah, absolutely.
You'll see this class, like, start to kind of be supplemented in a way that helps you stay on the mount and protect the mount.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of experience with mounted combat in 5e, but
Yeah,
I
me
imagine
either.
a lot of times if you're on, like, a war horse, your war horse has certain abilities. So, like, your benefit of being better at staying on your mount is that your mount has a benefit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like you're going to have more speed.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to, like, if you want to build, like, a heavy armor version, you're not going to be bogged down by the speed thing as long as you're on the mount. And, like, is there, like, a certain, like, thing you get for, is, like, the mount going to take the opportunity attack if you move by people, or are you going to take it, or can the opponent choose? I didn't look
think
too much
you
into
can choose,
that.
but my point is that mounts, creatures that are mounts, usually have features that they have.
Oh, like
that are
the
usually
mount itself
beneficial to
has,
you.
like, abilities?
Yeah, like I know, like a warhorse probably has like a charge feat, so where you can like
cool.
stomp over people.
Oh,
so your
okay.
benefit of being able to better stay on your mount is that your mount has benefits. Does that make sense?
I didn't look into the mount, and I should have.
You super should have.
Yeah, because I didn't feel like it was very important.
You did pick a mount, and we have it bookmarked, so we'll look at it today.
Cool, yeah. It's very specific kind of, like...
It is.
I didn't think it was important enough to, like, I'm on a fucking horse, or whatever. We'll see.
You'll see. Next feature, also at level 3, Unwavering Mark. So starting at level 3, you can menace your foes, foiling their attacks and punishing them for harming others. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can mark the creature until the end of your next turn. This effect ends early if you are incapacitated or you die, or if someone else marks the creature. While it is within 5 feet of you, a creature marked by you has disadvantage on any attack roll that doesn't target you. In addition, if a creature is marked by you deals damage to anyone other than you, you can make a special melee weapon attack against the marked creature as a bonus action on your turn. You have advantage on the attack roll, and if it hits, the attack's weapon deals extra damage to the target equal to half your fighter level, so at level 10 that'd be 5. Regardless of the number of creatures you mark, you can make the special attack a number of times equal to your strength modifier, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest.
Right, so you should be doing like 2 or 3 attacks in this instance.
Yeah, you are truly a tank in the 4E sense of the word. This is incredibly similar to what all fighters get. I think it was called Combat Superiority in 4E. And it was very similar to this. When you hit somebody, they're marked. If they fuck with anyone else, you punish them again.
Yeah, like it's that anime moment. Like, you're fighting me, remember? Exactly. I'm your opponent.
Yeah. I fucking love that feature. I love the Cavalier. It's really probably my favorite fighter subclass. Next, at level 7, you get Warding Maneuver. So you learn to fend off strikes directed at you, your mount, or other creatures nearby. If you or a creature you can see within 5 feet of you is hit by an attack, you can roll 1d8 as a reaction if you're wielding a melee weapon or a shield. Roll the die and add the number rolled to the target's AC against that attack. If the attack still hits, the target has resistance against the attack's damage. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This is great. You protect yourself, protect your horse, protect your dudes, and if you somehow fail to protect them, they're still protected because resistance is dope. That's half damage.
Yeah, man. That's a really, really important feature.
Yeah, you're a fucking wall if you're a Cavalier.
Yeah, as you level, this class, I just feel like it's being fully realized by level 10. You're pretty much you're doing all the things you think it should be doing,
right? And
then after that, it's just gravy to me. You're doing so much more.
Icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. So level 10, this will be the last feature that you get in your character today. Mm-hmm. You become a master of locking down your enemies. Creatures provoke an opportunity attack from you when they move 5 feet or more while within your reach. So it doesn't matter if they're moving away. If they move at all, you're hitting them.
Yeah.
And if you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the target's speed is reduced to 0. So they're not moving at all.
Yep.
They can try to move. Okay, so this is what I loved also about the 5E or the 4E fighter was in 4E, there was a movement action you could take called a shift, which meant if you shifted, you could move 5 feet in any direction without taking an opportunity attack.
Okay. Even if you're leaving melee range?
Even if you're leaving melee range.
Cool. Okay. So they don't roll in Smash Brothers.
Yeah. And what? Yeah, there was a roll in Smash Brothers. And the fighter was one of the few defenders that could even lock down a shift.
Nice.
This is essentially that. You're locking down them, even moving 5 feet around you if it's not even away from you, and you're stopping them. And that was what was cool about the fighter is a lot of the defenders for 4E, you would punish them for moving, but they would still move. The 5E said, no, you're not going fucking anywhere.
This is I just stabbed your leg.
Yeah, exactly.
Into the ground. Have fun being in this square.
Absolutely love it.
Cool.
At level 15, you get Ferocious Charger. You can run down your foes, whether you're mounted or not, if you move at least 10 feet in a straight line right before attacking your creature, and you hit with an attack. The target must succeed in a strength saving throw. DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus strength modifier, or be knocked prone. You can use this feature only once on each of your turns. I mean, that's cool. I mean, it doesn't use. Does it use a bonus action? No, it's just if you hit. So
nice,
not too bad.
Yeah.
Finally, at level 18, you get Vigilant Defender. You respond to danger with extraordinary vigilance. In combat, you get a special reaction that you can take once on every creature's turn, except your turn. You can use this special reaction only to make an opportunity attack, and you can't use it on the same turn that you take your normal reaction. So this is pretty cool. You do get it super late, so it's you don't really get to enjoy it.
I feel
but just unlimited opportunity attacks is basically what you're kind of getting.
It just feels like the role play, because at the end, at your level 18, you should be in when I read that, it makes me picture my Cavalier on a horse in a big battle scenario, and these opportunity attacks are so fucking meaningful because there's so many guys like you're charging through the forces and the forces are charging past you and you're just stabbing people as you go.
Sword. I love that, and it's great. I kind of wish you could get that at level 15 instead of 18.
I know the 15 ability is so like lackluster compared to the others.
It is, but you know what? Almost every subclass has one or two features that are lackluster.
Yeah, so and I appreciate this being a bottom heavy class where like you're getting most of your best stuff in the early levels.
It is. It really is bottom heavy. I love bottom heavy classes, mostly because in my experience of Dungeons & Dragons over the last 10 years, about to be 11 years tomorrow, I know, but most campaigns don't make it past level 10, man. I very rarely have I played past level 10, and so bottom heavy classes, gotta love them.
You have to start at higher levels to kind of... And the story development, it gets so extraordinary when you started as this fucking nobody and now you're like... Because at the lower levels, you're in a lot of campaigns, you're very vulnerable to death.
Yeah.
Death is on your doorstep all the time. So, like,
true.
you shouldn't build, like... You should leave that backstory open so you can have some interchangeability there. And
absolutely.
It's always hard putting a character on the shelf. My God. But, like... It's fun to do.
Yeah, it is fun to do.
Now you get to play this new build.
So any other comments, questions, concerns about the Cavalier before you look at your character?
I think looking at my character is going to open up a whole new world of possibilities and like what... And the stuff that we haven't tackled and we want to tackle, we can like look at the mount that I picked and like what it means for my character. I think we should just get in my character.
Okay, let's do it. Let's take a minute. I'll give you this iPad.
Yeah, I got to look at my stuff. Hang on. Okay, we're back and I have my character up. So, my character is a Triton.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to go under the sea.
Underwater.
You're the fish people.
Yes, it is. It really is. We couldn't even escape it here.
You're the Demon Lord, the Giant, and the fish people. Yeah. It's all three.
And now, Giant, Demon Lord, Fishman.
And now we're going to do half a year of character creation. It's just
now
a good year.
feel obligated to do the Demon Lord Dagon this year because he is a giant, like, underwater creature.
You said it.
Big.
You said it out loud. Big. So now it's like...
I probably will. He's actually one of my favorite demons.
Hell yeah.
But he's not going to have a stat block. Anyways, let's talk about your character. Okay.
Sorry, I just showed if you're on YouTube, you just saw Demon Gorgon. Shout out to Demon Gorgon. I got out of the abyss.
You know, Dagon is very related to Demon Gorgon. But anyways, back to your character.
I mean, Demon Lords, you know. I picked a Triton, so we're going under the sea. You're the fish people, you know.
Yes.
Should we redo the bit?
No.
Okay. So when you're a Triton, you get +1 to strength, con, and charisma.
I love that. I love that you get 3.
It's pretty cool. I'm learning D&D Beyond right now on the fly, so everybody, be a little patient with me. So Tritons can reach maturity around age 15, live up to 2 years. I'm going to put my guy right in the middle. He's 90 years old or whatever, 100 years old, somewhere in there.
He's like middle age.
So he's been through some life and some shit. Alignment, I don't care about that. My guy is kind of evil. Strengths are...
Alignment, kind of evil.
Alignment, kind of evil, I guess. This guy's like a biker boss.
Okay, cool.
We'll get into why.
Okay.
So like he's raised in like nobility, sort of. Kind of like I don't want to say noble because I didn't pick a noble background.
So like merchant family?
Yeah, sure. and like has those Cavalier type. You know, like so I picked insight as an ability score, and he's educated, but he's a bad boy. He's just a real bad boy.
He's a rebel.
My base walking speed is 30 feet, but I'm a swimmer, so it's 30 feet also there. I can breathe air and water because I'm amphibious. I can control air and water because I'm badass.
So you get natural spells?
Yeah, I get to cast, it's like a Genasi kind of. I get to cast Fog Cloud. Starting at 3rd level, I can cast Gust of Wind. And starting at 5th level, I can also cast Wall of Water.
Awesome, that's really cool.
Yeah. Charisma is my spellcasting.
Now I want to build a Triton Storm Barbarian.
Dude, I've been wanting to build Tritons so much since we did the Triton episode. Like, okay, next character, I'm doing a Triton.
Yeah,
and it just happened to be, yeah. I got Dark Vision, which is to say regular vision. That's starting to catch, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't want to confuse people. Dark Vision is not regular vision. It's just what most people have in the fantasy world where magic is normal.
Exactly.
Where you can just go to sleep and all your wounds heal. Emissary of the Sea. Aquatic beasts have extraordinary affinity with your people. You can Aquaman it. You're communicating with beasts that can breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your words. But you have no special ability to understand them in return. But you can just basically like give commands to dolphins.
Nice.
Adapted to the I'm Guardians of the Depth. I'm adapted to the frigid ocean depth, and I have resistance to cold damage. So I've got thick bones.
Nice. That's a good fucking racial stat block, bro.
I know, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. I can speak, read, and write common and primordial. So
cool.
I can talk to Quadra Genasi people, I guess.
Okay.
So for my class, obviously, fighter, Cavalier.
Yeah, you're going to get all that lockdown stuff. But what's the flavor? What's the background? Tell me.
So
tell me.
This guy, he grew up in like this merchant family, and then one day he just decided that shit wasn't for him.
Okay.
And he was like, you know what? I gotta find my own way. And his parents were probably real strict, so then he just like broke out as a teenager, and then he just started living that merc life.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just murking.
He's out there just
murking people. Actually,
being a badass.
Yeah, he's a level 10 character.
Did he start a gang?
Yes.
Like, oh, okay, cool.
So basically, the mount is a big seahorse.
Yeah, giant seahorse. We have a stat block right here.
So we
straight out of Marshmallow.
We are a gang of I'm the leader of a gang of seahorse bikers.
I love it.
So we ride.
Do you guys have a name?
Oh man, I'll think.
Oh wait, what's your guy's name?
Oh.
So we keep it my guy.
My guy.
Who is your guy?
Well, this is his like nickname that became his permanent name because he's the leader of this biker boss for like, I don't know, 50 plus years.
Okay. Oh, he's been doing it.
He's been doing it for a long time.
Okay,
This is like an established thing, and
Yeah.
his name, he started to call him Quinoa, because he's gonna make you shit yourself.
Yeah, I've heard this.
I did that.
He told me this 3 times before we recorded today.
This is my biker.
And my question was, does quinoa make you poop? And you told me yes. I believed you.
Ancient grains, bro.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So yeah, they're calling him quinoa for what happens to people that encounter quinoa.
Yeah. He makes you shit yourself.
I took animal handling and was that enough background on this guy?
I think so. I think
we'll get into more, but
yeah, we'll talk about more, but yeah.
He probably has like a girlfriend with big hair.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Why big hair? Just
It looks cool when you ride on
the seahorse.
Yeah.
On the seahorse.
He has a 2-seater for when he's with his girl.
Obviously, absolutely.
He's an absolute gentleman.
Do we want to get into the giant seahorse stats?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
the giant seahorse is one of the cooler things about my character.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got it here. It's a large beast, unaligned, armor class 13, hit points 16, so not a lot, but strength 12, dexterity 15, constitution 11, intelligence 2, wisdom 12, charisma 5. It has a feature called charge. If the seahorse moves at least 20 feet straight toward a target and then hits it with a ram attack on the same turn, the target takes an extra 2d6 bludgeoning damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. It also can breathe underwater. It's a seahorse.
It's a seahorse.
And its ram attack is a +3, 1d6 plus 1 bludgeoning damage. And then it says here, like their smaller kin, giant seahorses are shy, colorful fish with elongated bodies and curled tails. Aquatic elves train them as mounts. Also tritons, apparently.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think I probably stole one from a sea elf.
Ooh, I like it.
I took Elvish as a bonus language,
makes
so I
sense.
could fuck with sea elves.
Yeah, of course, and you're gonna.
I'm probably primarily not fucking with Tritons. I'm probably fucking with the other races, like the
Oh,
Moreau
I see.
and
Yeah.
the Merfolk. Not the Moreau. They'd
Yeah.
probably go kill those
They
guys.
fuck with you.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm level 10.
Oh, that's true. You are level 10. Yeah, you're fucking up some more.
They probably fuck with my guys, my biker guys, and then I gotta go fuck with them. You know how it is. Go lay down the law.
Yeah, I know how it is.
I took the defensive fighting style. I have animal handling and
Ooh,
intimidation.
what's your AC? What's your HP? What's that look like?
HP is 94.
Why do I have more HP than you? I feel like I made a mistake on my. I think I took the tough feat, and I printed that out, but then I changed my mind to the Shield Master feat, which I forgot to talk about.
Oh.
Either way.
Yeah, I didn't take the tough. I know when you have the tough feat, you get into like fucking ridiculous HP.
Yeah.
What is my AC? Where do I find that in D&D Beyond?
You probably didn't equip it because I kind of watched you build your character. I don't think you actively equipped it.
I don't think I did either.
What
But
kind of armor is he wearing?
it's gonna be medium armor.
Okay, so
It's gonna be
like scale armor.
Let's scale armor.
So I
but,
think that's 14 plus what's your dexterity?
Dex is 16.
So plus 3. I think it maxes at 2 though, so it's going to be 16 AC.
16 AC. I think I was gonna have a shield
Okay,
also. So the 18.
18.
Because I can have he has a trident.
Yeah.
So this is the aesthetic.
Okay,
we
yeah.
can complete the aesthetic now
Yeah,
that we have all these
trident,
pieces in place.
yeah.
I'm wearing the bones of my kills.
Okay,
My
cool.
animal kills.
Sure.
I'm wearing like a shark skull as a helmet.
Okay.
I'm wearing like fish bone like as my scale mail.
Yeah.
And my shield is like the rib cage of like a whale or something that is just like attached to my arm.
Yeah.
And then I have a trident, which is probably just a big sharp 3-headed bone.
That's fucking wicked cool. I really like that. And yeah, it's very much like the bad guy you come across while you're going across the ocean plains in your Aqua campaign.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Except it's more like
Exactly. He's very much a SpongeBob villain of some sort.
He's a bad guy from SpongeBob.
I really like it though.
He's the guy that's like, you need to go to the Weenie Hut Jr.
Exactly.
Yeah, is that guy.
The Gooey Goobers or whatever it is.
Okay, so yeah, defensive fighting style so my AC should actually be one more than that.
Okay, sure.
That's my fighting style. I think that's the way I went
17.
with it.
Okay, 19, whatever.
Yeah.
It's high.
Born to saddle, all that stuff. Okay, let me get into the cool shit. So I went standard array. I gave the 15 to strength, so that bumps it up to after all my cool ability score increases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gave. I'm landing at an 18 strength, 16 dex, 16 con, 8 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 11 charisma.
So you took no feats.
No. I tried to keep it simple.
Real buff, real dexterous, real strong.
Yeah, just because he's leaning in.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Yeah,
why not?
He probably had like his Cavalier training was before. He was meant to be like a talker and like the textbook Cavalier of Under the Seas.
Right.
But
so he took his powers and used them for evil.
when we took our break, I said I made a joke about how my character's not as deep as Will's, except like it is though because it's the ocean. Okay, so do I need to go over? I have the Outlander background, so enough time has gone by.
I didn't talk about. Yeah, sorry. You got Outlander background. Go ahead.
He's got a horn. That's where I took my Elven language.
Nice.
And he's got a horn because he can play an instrument. It's just a fucking conch because of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is.
And when I'm rolling, they know I'm rolling up because I'm blowing the fucking conch, bro.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, they know I'm coming to raid their shit.
We didn't talk about my character, but I think it's obvious he was a soldier. His background was soldier.
Yeah, okay.
But that's awesome, dude.
I get the Wanderer feature.
You never get lost.
I know the terrain really well. Pretty much.
Because you're out there. You be out there, so you know it.
I be out there. I'm like a raider at this point.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we're just living off we're like frost giants up in here, pretty much.
You're a bunch of fucking bandits.
Yeah,
that's what you are.
We're some fucking bandits.
Yeah, you're bandits, just fucking highway robbers.
That's it. That's our group name is Bandits by Quinoa.
There we go. So dumb. Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to quinoa?
You gotta watch out for those ancient cranes.
You do.
You're gonna slide right out of you.
I think it's time for a long rest.
Obviously, I'm protecting my mount and my boys with my trident,
Sure.
and my babes on the back seat.
Obviously. Hell yeah, I love
What
it.
does quinoa look like?
Oh,
the
sure.
sides,
Yeah.
like under the armor. Who's the man?
Who is the
under
man
the armor off the seahorse?
behind the name?
He probably wears jeans.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he wears
Definitely.
jeans and boots.
You got that tight down.
And his frills off his arms and his head and stuff, like his fins or whatever, those beta fish things.
Sure.
They're a little longer than normal, and they're a little more beat up than normal.
Okay. Yeah, they're a little worn and rugged.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. He's got one big scar from that time that Great White came and dragged him over to the Kraken.
Whoa.
And then the Kraken got him a little bit in the same spot.
He's level 10. He ain't level 18.
He barely escaped.
Uh-huh.
He just he got on a seahorse and he
Sure.
charged out of there. And then
good.
he used the Great White as a distraction. And the Kraken was like,
Well, you're a yummy fish.
Yeah, we'll keep this fucking thing. Let's get ready for our long rest.
Let's do it.
All right, for our long rest, kind of forgot. I gave you that other long rest prompt, but we're doing an interview with Bubblelaser. We're not going to have a traditional long rest. Bubblelaser is a great artist. You can find her on Fiverr.com or her Facebook. You can see her on our Instagram or our Twitter where we've posted her art. She makes all the art for Super Quest Saga. We wanted to do an interview with a content creator that wasn't the Dungeoncast.
Yeah, we want to try and make some space for content creators who are doing other stuff for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, so you can check her out for character creation stuff. We do. But here's the interview. Thanks, and see you later.
Indeed.
Hey, everybody, I'm here with Will and the artist known as Bubblelaser, or Bubble.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going great. I'm really excited.
We're happy to have you on the show.
Indeed.
So I wanted to ask you right off the bat, Bubblelaser, where does the name come from? How did you come up with that?
That is actually like a super funny question. I don't really feel like it came from anywhere. So I had been using a username that my older brother's friend had chose for me since I was like 10 years old. And I was like, you know what? I don't like this username anymore. I was scrolling through Instagram and I'm like, I want a new one.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I had always been described as a bubbly person. And I love bubbles because they're like round and cute and they're colorful. And so I was like, bubble something, bubble life, bubble lord, bubble laser. Oh my gosh, it's
Cool.
cute and cool. So I chose it, and it wasn't already taken. So that just kind of happened.
I know,
Nice.
that's like we had the same thing when we made the podcasts. We're like, oh, let's just like throw a bunch of names together and then we'll
did.
try to get them in this order. And it was the first one.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was.
How's this not taken? This is awesome. Perfect.
Some
That's
good
really cool.
names are just, they're meant for you, I guess.
I guess
Suppose
so.
Yeah.
It is a good name. So I want to ask you a little bit about your relationship with D&D and like other tabletops and RPGs.
Yeah, totally. What do you want to know?
I don't know. When did you first start playing D&D?
Well, I have been playing a version of Dungeons and Dragons
Ooh.
since I was 7 years old.
Oh, cool. Wow.
In college and in high school and college, my dad was super big into role-playing games. And so when we came about the age when we could understand math and, numbers and stuff like that, we all came together and we played a game, but we didn't have any dice. So we played with a playing card deck. And you pull a card from the top of the deck every time you rolled.
Right.
And I continued playing like that, not realizing that Dungeons and Dragons was a real game for like years. I didn't actually play Dungeons and Dragons until my senior year of high school. And after that, I was just hooked, completely in love with it. Like, my family is the biggest nerd family ever. Bilbo Baggins and Frodo and Gandalf are members of my family. So we binge Lord of the Rings at least twice a year. And so, like, Dungeons and Dragons was just right in my niche. So I picked it up and I was hooked immediately, just super addicted.
That's so cool. I've heard of RPGs that play with the cards. I've actually listened to somebody do like a 2-man where they like take turns flipping cards. That's really, really freaking cool.
Yeah, that's a cool concept. Yeah.
That's kind of like yours, huh, Will, where like you didn't really realize what Dungeons and
it's
Dragons
very
were, but you
similar
were
to my
already
story.
immersed.
Yeah, I was inundated in D&D and didn't realize that D&D was even a thing. I used to play a role-playing game called Dragon Strike when I was like 10, and I read a bunch of D&D novels, not realizing they were connected to this other thing called Dungeons and Dragons, and then I think I started playing when I was about 20. I was 20 years old. I was out of high school, and yeah, I was hooked, just like you. I've been playing ever since.
So when you first started playing, like what was the concept? You were like, did you have a character that you were like personifying the entire time?
Well, the first time, are we talking like pulling cards from a deck with my dad?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so my first character her name was Erica, and she was an elf, but I wanted her to be a tiger elf because I was a 7-year-old.
Yes. Cool.
So my dad came up with like a race of elves called Tiger Warriors. And so she was a Tiger Warrior archer named Erica, and yeah, that was fun. I actually recently rebooted her since Eberron came out and shifters became a thing.
There we go.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can bring Erica back to life and make her a real true blue character.
That's awesome.
Right, yeah.
I
That's
just
always a good
recently
feel.
played through a game with her, and we played it to completion, and I'm just like giddy with excitement, like, she exists, she's real again.
Sweet. Have you drawn her?
I have, actually. If you want it, I can upload it to your email or something like that, and I can send you a picture.
That'd be
yeah, I'd
badass.
love
Yeah,
to see it.
absolutely.
I'll send you the 7-year-old version and then the one that's most recent.
Oh, heck yeah.
wow.
Awesome.
Get
Yes.
both. So how did you get started, like, drawing? Was that something you've always done?
Oh man, yeah, I've been drawing since I had the motor skills to hold a pencil in my hand.
That's cool.
And my mom is an artist as well. She is a children's book illustrator. She has
cool.
written,
Wow.
illustrated, and published like 7 of her own children's books. So when I was a little kid and I was like getting into her art supplies and drawing on the walls, she was like, okay, that's not going to fly. So she got me like a legitimate, like thick canvas sketchbook. and she didn't give me like Crayola. She was like, nah, my girl's got to have Prismacolors, and she's got to have like oil paints and oil pastels.
Oh,
And I'm
yes.
like 6 years old, so I'm just like, my mom definitely enabled my art addiction from a very young age.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Good stuff. Okay, well, let's talk about how that developed into, marketing your skills and becoming the bubble-laser that we got to know a little bit, in terms of like taking requests for character art and, the kind of complications that might come along with something like that. So let's start with like, how did it all begin?
How did it all begin? Oh boy. So about 5 years ago, I served a service mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Mm-hmm.
It was an 18-month mission in the beautiful country of Taiwan. And it absolutely changed my life. I was spreading joy and preaching about Jesus and just making people happy. And when I came home, I didn't want to be the same person I had been because I had changed so much. I went from doodling in my sketchbook to wanting to actually spread joy and excitement. And one of the things that brought me excitement and my friends so much excitement and joy was when I would draw their characters at the table. I would just see them light up and they'd be like, yo, that is totally what he looks like.
Yeah.
Dude, I love his necklace. Look at his emblem. Whoa, he's got a tabard. I didn't even think about,
Awesome.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah,
And I
people
was
love
like,
to see their characters brought to life.
yeah, and it brings like this joy and light to their life that you don't get to see very often. And so I was talking with my friend Miranda, and she's a powerhouse lady. She's super big into like marketing and like chemical engineering, and she's got like, I swear she's gonna get her PhD soon. She's like amazing.
Cool.
She was like, well, why don't you sell your art online? Like, you could totally do it. You've got the skills. So she set me up on Fiverr, and no joke, the next day I had an order. And
That's awesome.
I'm a super like worried, energetic person. So I was like, just freaking out the whole time. But then the orders kept coming and people kept ordering. And I was like, this is insane. I didn't start to, I'm not a marketer. I'm really bad at picking prices. I'm really bad at advertisements. I'm so bad at that. So when I married my husband, he was like, hey, well, I'm super into marketing and I'm super big into like numbers and stuff. So
Yeah.
let's make this a business. And he did. He is completely in charge of all of my numbers and my advertising and juggling like commissions here and there. He's really good at scheduling for me. All I have to do is the easy part, which is draw pretty pictures.
Awesome.
I mean, that's what I would want
That's
if I started like that.
Perfect team.
That's really cool. Okay, so when you have free time as an artist, what is it that you do if you're not taking like a commission or anything like that? What are you putting down on paper?
The same exact thing that I do for everybody else. I'm gonna be honest, like my spare time is spent drawing my characters and the stuff that comes out of our wacky hijinks at the table. I'm working on a coloring book right now. I do that in my spare time. I'm like halfway done, so hopefully it'll get here.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah. But honestly, like when I'm doing stuff for myself, it looks exactly like how it looks for everybody else. I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, I think we all do here.
Yeah, and that's really cool that you get to do kind of a version of what you love when you're doing the business portion of it too.
Yeah, that's the dream right there.
So let's do a quick plug. Tell people where they can find you and how to contact you so they can commission work from you.
Oh, fantastic. So I am on multiple platforms. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Fiverr with the same username. It's Bubble Laser. I have my own website now where you can see most of my artwork. I've got a pretty extensive gallery there. And I'm currently taking orders through that website, and I hope to just get that flowing as easily as possible. I've already gotten several orders through my website, which is like so exciting, and I'm so happy.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to look at my previous work, I would go straight to my website because that's where my portfolio is right now. So
That's
if you're
awesome.
looking for commissioned work, that's also a great place to go. Facebook is also one of my favorite platforms to work with people because I don't have like word restrictions. So I can just talk to you like a normal human and we can be friends.
Right.
Excellent. That's great. Okay. Well, you drew all of our characters for Super Quest Saga,
Mhm.
including the Prime NPC that
Permanent.
Will plays.
Yeah.
And then spoilers for Super Quest Saga, but my most recent character. I got 2 character sheets done, and they're both fucking awesome.
They are. They look really spectacular.
We're really happy to be working with you, and we really appreciate the work that you've done. I'm slowly posting all your stuff to Instagram, but I do highly encourage people to go check you out on your website. I have been there. It's very fluid and cool. It was fun to search and look around at all the stuff and cool stuff that I hadn't seen yet on there. But definitely, so I think that's it. I think we can call it an interview.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for
It was
coming on the
a pleasure
show.
to have you.
Much. Yeah, it's been so great to meet you guys.
Yeah, it was wonderful meeting you too.